A single crocodile once whispered quiet power across tennis courts, a coded emblem that meant discipline and subtle wealth. By the 1990s, that same logo was everywhere, yet somehow said nothing at all. Lacoste's story is not a financial collapse, but a slow evaporation of meaning. How did a brand built on elite innovation become just another label? The answer starts at the very beginning, where a tennis champion's obsession changed the way the world dressed. Please like the video. Comment with your opinion on whether Lacoste can regain exclusivity. Subscribe for more luxury brand deep dives. René Lacoste was not content to simply play the game, he wanted to change it. On the courts of the 1920s, tennis players sweated through starchy long-sleeve shirts that clung and chafed. Lacoste, searching for freedom of movement and relief from the heat, designed something radically different. The result was the L1212 Polo, a shirt built from a unique cotton mesh called Petite Pique. This fabric, with its honeycomb texture, allowed air to flow and sweat to evaporate, keeping athletes cool under pressure. The weave was soft, yet strong, engineered to resist shrinking even after repeated washes. Lacoste's signature detail, a flat, unstarched collar, could be flipped up to shield the neck from sun, a quiet nod to both function and style. Every element was considered: short sleeves for agility, a buttoned placket for comfort, and that small green crocodile stitched by hand over the heart. In a world obsessed with ornament, Lacoste's invention was all about craft. The shirt did not shout, it whispered quality. For decades, the Petite Pique Polo defined what it meant to dress with subtle confidence, setting a standard that others could only try to imitate. Please like the video. Comment with your opinion on whether Lacoste can regain exclusivity. Subscribe for more luxury brand deep dives. A small green crocodile stitched over the heart became a secret language among those who understood its meaning. In the 1930s and the 1940s, the Lacoste polo was not just a shirt, it was an invitation into an unspoken club. Tennis champions, golf partners, and members of the European upper class recognized each other by that subtle emblem. The crocodile was never oversized or flashy. It rested quietly on crisp white cotton, a mark of discipline and restraint. If you are enjoying this deep dive, please like the video. Comment with your opinion on whether Lacoste can regain exclusivity. Subscribe for more luxury brand deep dives. At a time when most clothing hid its maker, Lacoste's logo was a quiet declaration, visible only to those who looked closely. The claim of being the first visible logo on a garment was not just marketing, it was a social code. To wear the crocodile was to signal a certain kind of life. Afternoons on manicured courts, weekends at exclusive clubs, and a belief in effort over display. The shirt's value lay in what it did not say. It was a badge for those who preferred their status unspoken, their taste understood only by those who shared it. In these circles, the crocodile meant something, and nothing else looked quite like it. Like the video. Comment with your opinion on whether Lacoste can regain exclusivity. Subscribe for more luxury brand deep dives. By the early 1950s, Lacoste faced a decision about licensing, how to take its discreet French polo beyond the courts and clubs of Europe. The answer came in the form of licensing. In 1952, the company signed away exclusive United States rights to David Crystal, owner of Izod, launching the era of Izod Lacoste. This was more than an export, it was a multiplication. Factories sprang up on both sides of the Atlantic, each producing shirts under the crocodile badge, but not always to the same standards. In the United States, the Izod Lacoste label became a phenomenon, filling department stores and closets from coast to coast. By the 1970s and the 1980s, the brand was so tightly woven into American preppy culture that teenagers called their shirts Izods, often with no mention of Lacoste at all. Meanwhile, in Europe, Original French production continued under the guidance of André Gillier's knitwear mills, but the model was spreading. Regional manufacturers in Asia, the Middle East, and South America secured their own licenses, each adapting the product to local tastes and supply chains. The result was a global patchwork, the same crocodile stitched onto polos of varying colors, fabrics, and fits, depending on where they were made and who held the contract. Some regions favored the dense, textured petite pique cotton of the original, others cut costs with blends or lighter weaves. Even the size and placement of the logo started to drift, as licensees responded to changing markets and trends. By the height of the licensing boom, Lacoste's reach spanned continents, but the brand itself was quietly fragmenting. The crocodile was no longer a cipher for a small, knowing audience. It had become a passport, stamped in every region and available to anyone with the means to buy in. The Izod-Lacoste partnership would last until 1993, when Lacoste bought back its United States rights and began reasserting control. But by then, the map of global manufacturing and distribution had been redrawn. The shirt that once whispered exclusivity now spoke in many tongues, and the line between original and licensed had blurred almost beyond recognition. If you found this section insightful, please like the video, comment with your opinion on whether Lacoste can regain exclusivity, and subscribe for more luxury brand deep dives. A retail quality auditor walks the aisles of a department store in 1986, clipboard in hand. On one table lie Lacoste polos from France, dense and weighty, the petit pique weave crisp to the touch. On another table sit American-made Izod-Lacoste shirts, lighter and almost flimsy, collars curling after a few washes. The tags all bear the same crocodile, but the shirts tell different stories. Some are cut wide and boxy, others slim and short. The stitching on the sleeves varies. 6 rows here, 4 rows there. In the fitting rooms, customers notice that the fabric on certain polos pills after a single season, while others hold their shape for years. The difference in quality is obvious before anyone studies the logo. If you are enjoying this deep dive, please like the video, comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more. Buyers for major retailers begin to voice concerns. One buyer recalls sending back a shipment when the logo was stitched off-center, the crocodile's snout pointed at the armpit instead of the heart. Another remembers complaints about colors fading quickly, pastels that once looked fresh turning muddy after a handful of washes. The original French polos had a heft and drape that signaled quality before anyone even saw the logo. The newer versions, especially those produced under far-flung licenses, feel like a different species. The inconsistencies are not just a matter of pride, they are a risk. Customers who once bought Lacoste for its quiet confidence now compare it to any other mall brand. The crocodile, once a subtle nod among insiders, starts to lose its bite. Even loyal customers begin to ask which Lacoste they are buying, the one that lasts or the one that disappoints. A former buyer sums it up: "We never knew what we would get." Sometimes the shirts were perfect, sometimes they felt like knockoffs, but they all had the same logo. The shift from craft to commodity is not a single event. It is a slow unraveling visible in every uneven seam and every faded green badge. The cost of unchecked deals is not just a weaker shirt. It is the quiet loss of trust, one purchase at a time. Like the video. Comment with your opinion on whether Lacoste can regain exclusivity. Subscribe for more luxury brand deep dives. If you are enjoying this deep dive, please like the video, comment with your opinion on whether Lacoste can regain exclusivity, and subscribe for more luxury brand deep dives. By the late 1980s, the crocodile had migrated far from its original habitat. No longer just a quiet signal on tennis whites, it was stamped across racks in suburban malls, stitched onto pastel polos, and splashed on windbreakers and baseball caps. The once exclusive badge of the club set now mingled with the everyday uniforms of teenagers, mall walkers, and streetwise kids. In the fashion press of the era, Lacoste appeared in spreads alongside other status brands, but the company's identity was starting to fracture. Preppy teens wore their polos popped at the collar, layering them two at a time in shades of mint and lemon. Meanwhile, street subcultures, especially in the UK and France, adopted the crocodile as a symbol of swagger, pairing it with tracksuits and sneakers. For some, it was a nod to aspiration. For others, an act of appropriation or even rebellion. Competitors like Le Tigre and Penguin crowded the market, each with their own animal badge. But none matched the crocodile's instant recognition. Retailers pushed ever more logo-forward designs, emboldening the emblem in size and color to catch the eye from across the food court. What began as a whisper of class became a shout, one that anyone could wear, and everyone did. The logo, once a secret handshake, turned into a billboard. Mall ubiquity reached its peak. By the early 1990s, it was difficult to walk through a shopping center without spotting a crocodile on every other rack. Inside this remix culture, Lacoste's single identity split into many. The shirt could mean prep, street, or just another mall purchase. It was familiar, but less and less aspirational. The groundwork was set for a new era, where visibility would matter more than meaning, and the crocodile would be swept into the algorithmic churn of fashion's next wave. If this section raised questions, please like the video. Comment with your opinion on whether Lacoste can regain exclusivity, and subscribe for more luxury brand deep dives. On paper, Lacoste had never been more visible. The crocodile leapt from tennis courts to every corner of the digital world, fueled by a steady stream of influencer partnerships and celebrity campaigns. Global tennis stars like Venus Williams posted branded content to millions of followers. One recent collection launch reached over 40 million views on Instagram and TikTok in a single week. If you are enjoying this deep dive, please like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe. Yet, a closer look at the numbers tells a different story. Social analytics show that while reach exploded, actual engagement lagged. Likes and comments sat at a fraction of total impressions, and sentiment analysis flagged a pattern. Plenty of scrolling, not much desire. A social media analyst calls it the visibility paradox. The more people saw the crocodile, the less it seemed to mean. High-profile collaborations with athletes and pop stars produced spikes in hashtag mentions, but the average time spent on campaign posts barely crossed 2 seconds. For every viral tennis clip or fashion drop, there were thousands of passive views and muted reactions. The crocodile was everywhere, but it became background noise, another logo in a feed crowded with logos. Venus Williams, a name once synonymous with on-court dominance, became one of many faces in Lacoste's influencer lineup. The campaign reach was undeniable, but among Gen Z and millennial audiences, the crocodile felt less like a badge and more like a banner ad. The numbers kept climbing, but the brand's mystique faded with every swipe. In the rush to be seen by everyone, Lacoste traded exclusivity for exposure, and the exchange rate was steep, more attention and less aspiration. If you think Lacoste can reclaim its quiet luxury, or if you think the crocodile has lost its bite for good, like the video, comment with your opinion on whether Lacoste can regain exclusivity, and subscribe for more luxury brand deep dives. Annual sales hover near 2.9 billion euros. Lacoste polos continue to move by the millions, filling closets from Sao Paulo to Seoul. The numbers look strong, and on a spreadsheet, the crocodile appears as healthy as ever. But ask a market analyst to look past the revenue, and a different picture comes into focus. One retail strategist explains that Lacoste is a brand everyone knows, but fewer people care about what it stands for. If you are enjoying this, like the video, comment on whether Lacoste can regain exclusivity, and subscribe for more luxury brand deep dives. A focus group of college students in Berlin flips through a rack of polos. One shrugs and calls the crocodile classic, but kind of basic now. Another says, "My dad wears it. I want something different." This is not just a European story. In New York and Tokyo, younger shoppers echo the same sentiment. Lacoste is familiar, but not exciting. The badge that once whispered quiet confidence now competes with dozens of other logos, all chasing attention in the same crowded space. Industry reports show that global demand for the L.12.12 polo remains steady, with new color drops sparking short-lived spikes. But long-term surveys tell another story. Among Gen Z and millennials, Lacoste ranks below newer, more disruptive labels when it comes to aspiration. For many, the crocodile has drifted into the territory of mall brand, reliable, accessible, but stripped of mystique and real aspiration. A senior analyst at a luxury consultancy puts it plainly: revenue can hide a lot. Just because a brand is selling does not mean it is still special. This paradox sits at the heart of Lacoste's dilemma. The company is thriving by every financial metric, yet the aura that once made it a quiet luxury icon is fading. Older fans remember a time when the crocodile was a subtle code. Now it is just another option on the rack. The ledger looks great, but the soul is harder to find. If you think Lacoste can regain its sense of exclusivity, or if you believe its best days are behind it, like the video. Comment with your opinion on whether Lacoste can regain exclusivity. Subscribe for more luxury brand deep dives. Inside Lacoste's Paris studio, a new creative director studies the archives. Shelves hold crisp white polos from the 1930s, their crocodile badges barely larger than a thumbprint. The task is clear: bring back the quiet confidence that once defined the brand without simply trading nostalgia for relevance. The first changes are subtle but deliberate. Silhouettes return to their roots, clean lines, a gentle taper at the waist, sleeves that finish just above the elbow. The fabric, once again, is dense petite pique, chosen for its weight and breathability, not just price. Most noticeable is the shrinking of the logo. Where the crocodile once sprawled across chests in the mall era, it now sits smaller, closer to the heart, echoing René Lacoste's original vision. Reports from inside the design team describe a reduction of about 30% in logo size, a move meant to restore discretion, not to erase identity. A former designer recalls heated debates over every millimeter, saying, "We wanted the badge to be a whisper again, not a shout." Distribution, too, is throttled. Instead of flooding every department store, Lacoste limits new boutique openings, focusing on select locations that reinforce a sense of rarity. The goal is not to vanish, but to become a little harder to find, a return to the days when spotting a crocodile meant something. Archive reissues appear in limited runs, each one referencing a specific year or tournament, with tags that detail their lineage. These are not mass drops, but curated releases, offered to those who seek them out. Premium positioning becomes the mantra. Price points climb, but so do expectations. Marketing leans into tennis heritage, using vintage imagery and stories of René's innovations to anchor the brand's identity. The hope is that, by narrowing its focus and quieting its presence, Lacoste can rebuild the aura that once made the crocodile a symbol of understated excellence. Whether scarcity can be engineered in a world addicted to exposure remains an open question. The strategy is set. The next move belongs to the market and to those who still believe in quiet luxury. Like the video. Comment with your opinion on whether Lacoste can regain exclusivity. Subscribe for more luxury brand deep dives. Today, Lacoste's polos still fill store shelves, but cultural relevance cannot be measured in sales reports. In a world where ubiquity erodes exclusivity, the brand's struggle mirrors a bigger question. Can true luxury survive mass exposure? The answer shapes not just Lacoste's future, but the fate of every legacy name. Please like the video, Comment with your opinion on whether Lacoste can regain exclusivity and subscribe for more luxury brand deep dives.